The 350cc retro motorcycle category in India is the largest by now, and the market leader is nothing else but Royal Enfield. For an example, we have the Bullet here, or you can even consider the Classic 350. But to take a piece of this pie, Jawa is here, and Classic Legends have updated the standard Jawa, making it an all new Jawa 350. There are a lot of changes done to this motorcycle, and it comes at an on-road cost of 2,55,000. While we consider the Bullet, the on-road cost ranges from 2,10,000 to 2,60,000. So, which one is better? For your choice, let's find out. Before you do that, subscribe to MotorBeam and don't forget to hit the bell icon, yeah? Now, design-wise, there's something like the Bullet is quite different from the Jawa, but in terms of the overall character, both the motorcycles are proper retro. Now, the Bullet carries the older design of the Bullet that it had, and the Jawa has a similar from its legend. But then again, there's one thing to definitely notice, that Bullet is straight throughout. यहाँ पे पूरा flat आपको मिलता है. Here on the Jawa, the front is super high and the tail goes sloping down. So overall design wise, both motorcycles are quite different, and preferably the Parsi owners who have had Jawas, they will actually appreciate the design, because this looks like the older motorcycle and it does carry forward the design language like in the best sense possible. But if we talk about the differences, there are quite a few. Bullet looks a lot more muscular, it is bulky overall, while the Jawa is super sleek and feels comparatively faster. Ergonomically, both the motorcycles are still quite different. Let me show you. Now, to give you a simple hand measurement, मतलब मैं tape वेप लेके नहीं कर रहा हूँ. I've got a hand, like I've got one, yeah, 1, 2, and complete 3 hand distance is there for the seat length. But as we check for the Jawa, it feels a lot more smaller, it feels a lot more compact. And give an example, 1, 2 and a half, literally a half. So Jawa का seat length थोड़ा सा कम है, plus the cushioning, as you feel, it's a lot more harder on the Jawa compared to that on the Bullet. Let me sit and show you. The seat height of the Jawa is somewhere close to 790 mm, and the moment I swing my leg, I have a very higher handlebar, like comparatively higher, and it feels a lot more engaging at the same time. Very upright. You can see that it's a proper right angle over here, and this feels quite nice, but decently tight. And to show you an example, I've got my pillion too. Ajo. He has sat on the motorcycle, and you can see there's literally very less space between us. अगर मैंने जोर से accelerate करके भागा है तो definitely पीछे गिरेगा, है कि नहीं? So let's sit on the Bullet right now. You don't really have anything to grab on. Let's say grab कुछ है ही नहीं, नीचे मिलता है, but that's that. And the moment I sit on the Bullet, the seat is much more softer. He is seated in a much better manner, and if you are looking for pillion comfort too, Bullet is the one to consider. The seat height, however, is little bit higher at 805 mm. मतलब 15 mm का फर्क है, so आपकी height बहुत ज़्यादा कम है, तो Jawa थोड़ा better पड़ेगा, but otherwise this is nice. Now both the motorcycles sound quite different. This is how the Bullet sounds. And this is how the Jawa sounds. For this I have to hold the clutch. You can definitely notice that the Bullet has a slower revving engine, while the Jawa is a lot more faster. Now the weight difference between both these motorcycles is not really much. The Jawa weighs close to 194 kgs, while the Bullet weighs close to 195. Just 1 kg ka difference, and that's about it. Exhaust note difference is one thing, but then again the overall engine structure is quite different for both the motorcycles. The 350cc, 334cc, but being a smaller engine, it produces more power, more torque, although Jawa has brought down the power by quite a bit. So basically unka jo engine tha, it used to produce close to 30 bhp. This one produces just 22 and 28 or 29 newton meters, while that one is just 20 bhp and 27 newton meters. So comparatively the Bullet is heavier and it is a bit more slower too. The overall top speed is somewhere close to 110 km per hour, while the top speed of the Jawa is 125 km per hour. Plus, while cruising, you can maintain a higher speed, say somewhere close to 90 km per hour without stressing out too much. For the Bullet, 80 is a sweet spot. Then again, Bullet comes with a 5-speed gearbox. Here on the Jawa, you get a 6-speed gearbox, so that is even more advantageous. And then again, the Jawa gets liquid cooling. So overall, although the Jawa looks a lot more retro compared to the Bullet, inside it is a lot more modern. The fuel tank difference between both the motorcycles is barely just 200 ml. Basically, this is 13.2, Bullet is 13. However, the mileage difference between both the motorcycles is again something that is not too far. I've been getting close to 31 to 32 kilometers per liter from the Java 350, and the Bullet is somewhere close to 33 again. So both the motorcycles will have a similar travel distance in one full tank. There is, however, one major difference, and that is about the vibrations. Now, रॉयल एनफील्ड का वाइब्रेशन सबको बहुत ज़्यादा परेशान करता था, बट विद अपडेटेड जे सीरीज मोटर थिंग्स हैव गॉटन अ लॉट मोर बेटर, एंड सिमिलर इज द केस फॉर द जावा एज वेल. With the update, the power has come down and all of that, and things have changed within the engine, making it a lot more smoother. But then again, if I have to go ahead and complain, the Java has a little bit more buzz all over the place compared to what the Bullet does. Bullet has a lot more thump, while the Java accelerates faster right away. Dynamically, both the motorcycles are almost poles apart because the Bullet is very comfortable, runs very well in the straight line, leans nicely too, holds the line there, but then it's a plush ride overall. While the case for the Java, it is a lot more quicker, it is a lot more dynamic, the handlebar feedback is much better, and the overall chassis flex is not as much. Although the weight difference which I mentioned is just 1 kgs, the Java feels lighter when you are riding on the road, plus it gets 18-inch front and a 17 rear, while the Bullet gets a 19-inch front tire and a 18 rear. So overall the Bullet is a lot more comfortable motorcycle, while the Java is a lot more dynamically rich motorcycle. The Bullet over here gets a single disc, which is the front one. However, for the Java, it's just a standard unit. You get dual disc as standard, and overall braking feedback, not considering just the this setup here from the older Bullets too, or even the classic, the Java stops better. For the ground clearance, the difference is just barely 8 mm. Bullet has 170 mm, Java has 178 mm, but it really gets neglected because the Java has a longer wheelbase too. On the Bullet, you can see there's a main stand right over here. On the Java, I cannot see one. Probably it's not there as a factory default. There is space to put down a main stand because I can see the holes over there, but इसमें तो नहीं है फिलहाल. The Bullet does not really get a bash plate as such, but then again there is a plastic bash plate on the Java. However, there is one big problem. Behind that plastic bash plate, there is a coolant reservoir, and that is not the place I would actually recommend the coolant reservoir to be if you are riding through the worst of roads, because there's a good chance that you might send some pebbles up, or it can damage the whole setup right there. I know Java would have tested everything, but that is not recommended, yaar. Now all the lights on both the motorcycles are halogens. The only LED that you get is on the Java 350, and that is for the tail light. Baki sab you can see is halogen ka setup. And there's one more thing to notice, that the horn of the Java is right over here with the Java logo, while Bullet ka horn thoda niche engine ke paas aa jata hai. Let's see which motorcycle is a lot more horny. This is the Java. This is the Bullet. Both are equally loud, but which one do you think is better? Let me know in the comments below, yeah. Now the meter is the same, the Ulta unit which we had seen on the Javas earlier. You can see the 0 starts here and goes all the way this side. Fuel gauge also is analog. This is a small digital section which is right now showing that the side stand is down, and there are sets of telltale lights. In the digital section you only get the odometer and twin trip meters, nothing else, and even right now you cannot really change it because side stand is down. Now from the rider's perspective, you can see that the meter is less visible, and to change the details over here I have to press the I button on the right, and that's about it. The switchgear here on the Java feels a lot more better. It is finished in matte overall, and it is a lot more tactile. ऐसा weird feeling नहीं है, गोल भी कुछ नहीं है वैसा. The instrument cluster on the Bullet is better visible. You can get the fuel gauge right over here, and this is the odometer trip meter ka. There's an I button on the left with which you can switch, and you can get a clock as well. On the right, this Bullet section यहाँ पे जो है, you can add a tripometer as well. So additional, if you want last mile navigation, you can add that too. The switchgear feel overall is decent, but then again ये थोड़ा सा ऐसा loose feel होता है. I don't really like the updated switchgear. मतलब there is a little bit of a miss in fit and finish. It's good, it's not bad. Like it will work for like 3-4 years without giving any problems at all. But then again जो initial feel है ना, उसका मज़ा नहीं आ रहा है. For the price of both the motorcycles, there is quite a bit of difference. See, if you are getting the base variant of the Royal Enfield Bullet, you are saving at least 30 to 40,000 rupees. And then again, if you want the colors or if you want the special variant, you are paying a little more than what Java is offering. Then again, the loyalist will always prefer the Royal Enfield over the Java, because Royal Enfield as an overall motorcycle is built to last. And it does. With the new engine updated, everything is smoother, it's a lot more better. And there are people who want comfort, just comfort and nothing else. They will prefer the Royal Enfield Bullet, or even the Classic you can consider. Java is for those people who've known the brand for quite some time and they want something iconic, because you don't see many Javas out here, and this does look like the older motorcycle. Now it is comparatively smoother, it was already faster, you get a 6-speed gearbox, there's a modern hard ride below with a liquid cool engine, and it's a proper modern retro piece that you should consider. Now out in the market there are other motorcycles like the CB350. You can even consider the Speed 400. Now that is something that's a little too fast, but if you want something calmer compared to the Speed 400, this is definitely calmer and this is just chill. Thank you so much for watching. This was the verdict for the Bullet versus the Jawa 350. Which one will you pick? Let me know in the comment section below. There might be other options too, from the price range of 2,10,000 to 2,55,000. What are your options? Let me know.